So I first came to Honduras as a teacher, and shortly afterwards started volunteering in a couple of the orphanages that were in the area. And I continued to volunteer in those orphanages for 2 years while I lived there, and I loved it. It was a very fulfilling experience because I began to go weekly, and every time I would arrive, the kids would run up, shout my name, hug me, cling to me. And for me, I really started to think I was making a difference in their lives, going to play with them, giving them attention and love. And so it was a very fulfilling experience, and it's what got me started in the desire to help serve orphans here in Honduras. And so after that 2 year of time I served on the mission field as a teacher, I went back home to the States. And after being in the States a little while, missing the kids, I also began to realize that I had left them alone, and the impact I thought I had really hadn't made a difference for them, not long term anyway. And so there started kind of the journey of trying to figure out what I could do to really change their circumstances, impact their lives long term. Since obviously I couldn't, be their mother full time or provide a family or love for them full time. And I hadn't made the difference I thought I had. And so shortly afterwards, as you know, Jorge and I started Identity Mission, and we started the foster care program and family preservation program that you all support now. And it was then that I began to realize the impact I wanted to have was totally different than what it looked like initially. And so as we have our events or do things with the foster families or the family preservation families, none of the kids know my name. None of them come and hug me because I'm a total stranger for them. They don't need me to put a Band-Aid on their boo-boos. They don't need me to hold them when they cry because they have someone. They have their foster mom and dad, or they have their biological parents that we've been able to support so they can stay home. And so even though it may not be as fulfilling initially, because I don't have that interaction with the kids, I do know that now we're able, through the programs of Identity Mission, to provide the impact and the long-term change that I had initially hoped for these kiddos, these vulnerable kids in Honduras. And so that's how I got to the work I am in today, directing here in Honduras Identity Mission. And that's my story of how I got to this point.
So before doing full-time orphan care ministry, if you would have told me that I was going to be doing this, I would have said that you're crazy. And that's why I like to believe that God had to be very sneaky with me to get me to do this kind of work. When I met Tara and heard her vision about orphan care in Honduras and the work that needed to be done, I loved it. I believed in it fully, and I support her work 100%. Notice that I said her work because even though I believed in it, I just wanted to be like the behind the scenes guy. The local guy that knows the culture, the translator, the driver. So we would go to a children's home and do programs and activities for them. And after everything was finished, the kids wanted to hang out with me. And I remember specifically this one day, this one place where I was just behind the scenes, like I said, and just leaning on a wall, and I can close my eyes and see what was going on that day. And they were all doing this activity, and they finished, and all the kids started walking to me, and then hanging out with me, and we played soccer and we played basketball and we talk about soccer. And this became like what happened every time wherever we went. This would happen over and over again, and we became friends with these kids, and I started believing in it more and more, and this reality of our orphan crisis that I was aware of before, but it was not like it was now. It became personal because they were my friends now. It became personal. I needed to do something about it, and it became my passion, and I love these kids. They're adults, some of them now. And this is how I became involved in orphan care ministry. And that's how I'm part of the story.